3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1048. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. I just saw the number 111 on the timer that, shows on this phone screen that I'm using to record this video. And the number 1 is about trusting yourself. And speaking of the number 1, it is in 1048. For some reason, I was trying to, feeling like I wanted to say 1041. Maybe that reading could be significant for you too. But there's a particular focus here on your intuition. Maybe there's some sort of significant choice you feel called to make, or some significant direction you feel called to take. And it's important to trust your own decision making, to trust yourself, to trust your own judgment, or to at least trust that if you are wrong, you're not going to be so hard on yourself about it that you can't learn or grow from, being wrong or making a mistake or something. I feel like there's something here about being able to trust yourself, to take care of yourself in the way that you deserve, to be kind, nurturing, and protective towards yourself in the way that you deserve. The next number, the number 0, can be about a couple of different things. The first interpretation is maybe some significant signs or patterns, recurring signs or patterns or themes or symbols or, things like that are worth paying attention to within yourself, the way you're thinking, feeling, and believing, or outside of yourself in a situation that involves other people or that is more connected to the outside world, this physical reality. Pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the repeating patterns, because I do feel like your intuition is trying to show you something or take you somewhere. The number 4 is about your ancestors and them coming through to encourage you and support you in your pursuit. I hope you initiate a pursuit towards more stability in your life. So first, creating more stability within yourself, the way that you think, and how those thoughts make you feel, and how these thoughts and feelings shape your belief system and ultimately your choices and your reality. If you want a stable, predictable reality, you have to be able to stabilize and predict your own mind, heart, and soul. You really gotta know yourself. If you feel called to have a deeper connection with yourself, this is definitely confirmation of that calling. The last number, the number 8, is about loss, and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. Does trusting yourself lead to loss? Prioritizing stability, does it lead to loss? Prioritizing yourself, Does it lead to loss? And I feel like if it does, it's because you are stripping away people and situations that make you doubt yourself, create chaos in your life, and expect you to put them before yourself. I feel like you are shedding away things that do not support your spiritual and psychological growth, and ultimately a reality that reflects that growth. I really encourage you to trust that whatever is lost will be replaced, because whenever you make positive change, you're going to lose whatever reinforced the negative stagnancy in your life. I really feel like changes that you're making for the better will pay off in the long run. Someone here may feel called to play the quote-unquote long game, where you might have to be really patient and strategic, and it might be helpful to trust yourself to help you be more patient and more involved, connected with your experience. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 4 is 5, plus 8 is 13. I interpret this number 13 in two ways. The first one is the number 13 itself, which I see as good luck and good fortune, which I really feel like is awesome confirmation that whatever is lost really will be replaced. You don't need to worry about the future if you stay focused on the present, making positive changes in the now that will create more positivity in the future. The future is now. So I think as long as you are currently making positive changes, striving for positive outcomes, I think you'll get there. And it feels like there is something really, really significant here about your perception on the present and the future, and how it might need to be more healthier. You might just have to change your mindset and how you look at it by acknowledging how important it is to stay present and to trust in the future that you are trying to create for yourself in one way or another. The other way that I interpret the number 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, and that is definitely a confirmation of what we already talked about with the number 4, being connected to your ancestors and them coming through to really encourage you and support you in your pursuit for stability in your healing, and helping you find the courage to let go of people and things that just do not serve your health, honestly, your health and your quality of life. It is okay to choose yourself. Of course, context matters. If you have kids, you have to be a little more considerate, but just generally speaking, you're allowed to choose yourself and to make your life about you. And it might be really important for you to consciously give yourself permission to choose yourself and protect your future, really. I'm going to move on now into the cards portion of this reading, starting with drawing out a major arcana card from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. If you didn't already know, there are major arcanas and minor arcanas. The major arcanas are more like the bigger picture. They have a stronger impact than the minor arcanas, which are more about the details, more immediate circumstances. You can think of, at least in my opinion, major arcanas is more long-term, and minor arcana is more short-term in terms of time. Maybe you're looking for a specific timing of something, but let's go ahead and draw out a major arcana here to see, kind of what the bigger picture is. in relation to the messages that came from 1048. Your intuition, putting yourself first, prioritizing stability with the support of past loved ones, whether you knew them in this life or not, loss, and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced, and trusting in, really, really trusting that what is lost will be replaced, and trusting in the support of your ancestors. What card should we pull then? Let's do this one. It is the Tower. There could be something here about a love situation. In the well, actually, this says chaos and upheaval. But in the reverse, it says resistance, fear, soul search, pending honesty. Seems like the bigger picture we're focusing on really is all about your stability, or at least a focus on a significant foundation. It feels like there's a need here for more communication and boundaries, and I just saw the number 234, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. And in particular, it seems to be in the context of the need for communication and boundaries. It could be about your worth and what you deserve. Honestly, that's what it mostly feels like it's about. The reason for why communication, honesty, protecting yourself are important in this reading. This card has the number 16 on it, 1 plus 6 is 7, which is about wisdom, learning, growing even, and expanding your awareness and your consciousness. I feel like there's a lot to learn here about foundations and how important it really is to use your voice. Matter. How much you show up matters. You could be experiencing anxiety, uncertainty. It does feel like there could definitely be some fear here, because it seems that there is a drastic change. This actually feels like it confirms what I was talking about, how whenever you change internally, it's going to lead to changes externally that support the more true and authentic version of yourself. So it does feel like what you're shedding away, you're making foundational changes. So you could be having problems in your relationships, maybe at a job, in a way of living. Something is not working. Let's move on into drawing out one of these playing cards here. These ones, they more closely, nearly, honestly, represent the minor arcanas in tarot. So I'm going to use this to kind of get more detail. But there are no pages, because when you think about the suits in playing cards, there's only King, Queen, and Jack. So just keep that in mind if you're familiar with tarot cards. This makes a lot of sense. We have the Six of Swords, and it says moving on. The other way it says holding on, which I don't feel like you are doing. It does feel like you are embracing loss, the change, even if it's uncomfortable and not really what you want. Number 6 is about a choice and a commitment between self-love and self-hate, nurturing and protecting yourself or destroying yourself. And it does seem like you are moving forward with self-love, protecting yourself and nurturing yourself. And I feel like this reading is here to confirm for you that you're doing the right thing. Maybe this reading serves more as validation and, support in that way to help you feel less crazy and less isolated. And I did see the number 543 on the timer. I just saw the number 555 as well. 543 is about trusting everything happens for a reason, and 555 is confirmation of change, a personal transformation and or external changes going on in your life. Trust that these changes are happening for a reason. There's some people watching this at least who resonate with the fact that you created these changes. And like I said before, I feel like you can trust in the long term, like how these changes affect you in the long run instead of, the short term. There really does feel like there's an opportunity to heal deeper. I'm really thinking of the Star, which I think comes after the Tower. You can be hopeful about the future. If you choose to heal, you're not going to be disappointed if you stay hopeful. That's what I think. I'm going to draw out a rune now from this bag here. Made these ones myself, obviously. Okay, I have two of them that I pulled that I feel drawn to take, so we gotta pick one. Okay, I have the one that I want to pick. Opening it up, we have Manas with the letter M up here. Humankind, interdependence, collective potential. I really feel like this is a reminder of how not alone you are. There are people out there, if not already in your reality, that you can depend on, who do support who you are and what you deserve, who support your individual potential, knowing and trusting that it affects our collective potential. There are people out there who see the same potential that you do, not just for yourself, but for the world and others as well. I'm going to draw out a fortune slip from this bag. I collected them from one of my favorite Chinese American restaurants. Okay. Interesting. It says, you are admired for your impeccable taste. The color is black and white, yin and yang, light and dark, feminine and masculine. You might be looking into those things. But the shades, rather, but not really colors. The shades black and white could be significant for you for spiritual reasons. You're definitely not alone in that. I feel like this message that you are admired for your impeccable taste, I feel like this is kind of just affirming what was already said here, that you are not alone, that there are people who, as this slip of paper says, aligns with your taste when it comes to the way life should be lived. You will find the people and the situations that align with who you are, with how you are choosing to show yourself and who you are, if that makes sense. The more honest and true that you are to yourself, and the longer that you do it, the more likely you are to attract everything that supports your truth and your authenticity. I feel like a really important message here is about encouraging you to be patient, especially from ancestors. Don't forget to rest and to have fun when you need to, even if it might be difficult. It's okay to distract yourself sometimes. Of course, it's important to know when to distract yourself and when to pay attention to your anxiety or, intense feelings. But it's okay to distract yourself sometimes too. So like I said, don't forget to have fun and to relax while you are trusting the process and being very patient through these changes, to see through to a life, a future that you genuinely really do deserve. And I was about to stop recording and I saw the number 111 on the timer, which, as I said in the beginning, I believe, that number is about trusting yourself. It seems we started with trusting yourself, and we're going to end this reading with trusting yourself. Whatever decision you made, whoever or whatever you let go, I really don't think you have, even if things seem unpredictable, a little bit scary right now, I think you are safer than you think, or than you're afraid of, than your fears really want you to trust, you know?